Shout out to Jamal Ross for sending me this story. And if y'all don't know who this is everybody's favorite crybaby white supremacist, Christopher Cantwell. If you don't remember Christopher Cantwell, he pretty much rose to prominence when he made that rather pathetic video back in 2017, right around the time of the Charlottesville terrorism riot, whatever, murder scene, whatever you want to call it, down in Charlottesville, Virginia. And we just pretty much made fun of his ass because we looked at him and was like, this man is absolutely pathetic. He just went on a whole little tirade, crying his little eyes out. For whatever reason it may be, at this point, it's not even important. And I think I had did another video or so about him outside of that or away from that since then. But then we kind of forgot about him all over again. Well, now there is a new story coming up about this guy. And it says, leading white nationalist pleads not guilty to making threat. Now, mind you, this is the same guy that got on his camera on video and started crying for whatever reason. But then started to, now this is happening all over again. That's why nobody felt bad for him. We all thought it was a joke. I still to this day think it's a joke. Like, if you need a good laugh, just go and look up, just type Christopher Cantwell or Chris Cantwell into the YouTube search and watch and see the first video that pops up is probably the one of him crying. But this is actually new to me because I don't know what I'm about to read, to be quite honest. Because like I said, I haven't been following him or ever, but nothing really in the news came out about him. So I don't know what I'm about to read, but we're about to find out. A leading white nationalist pled not guilty Thursday to federal charges that he threatened to rape the wife of a person with whom he was having a dispute. So he's threatening to rape the wife of someone that he does not like. So another guy he doesn't like, he says, I'm going to rape your wife. How Caucasian of him. Christopher Cantwell, a New Hampshire resident who rose to prominence in 2017 after a violent rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, is accused of using the Telegram messaging app to make the threat on June 16, 2019. The person with whom he was messaging hasn't been identified. The indictment alleges that Chris Cantwell threatened to injure another person if the victim did not provide him with personal information about an unidentified third party. The FBI tweeted that it arrested Cantwell of Keene on Thursday morning without incident. He faces charges of extortion and sending interstate threats and was arraigned Thursday afternoon in Concord. Cantwell, dressed in a camouflage jumper, black pants, and sneakers, pled not guilty. A judge ordered him held in federal custody at least until a detention hearing Tuesday. Neither side provided details in court. Cantwell's lawyer, federal public defender Eric Wolpin, would not comment after the hearing. Cantwell is set to go to trial on March 3rd, and prosecutors said it could take 4 days. Cantwell pled guilty in 2018 to assault after he was accused of using pepper spray against two counter-protesters during a white nationalist rally in Charlottesville in 2017. Cantwell, who has hosted self-produced radio shows, also has a history of posting threatening messages all over social media. In March, he wrote that he thought the Gab social media platform had banned him for a post after the deadly New Zealand mosque shootings, in which he wrote, I'm pretty sure it would be against the rules for me to say that would-be mass shooters should find left-wing activists and gun them down instead of random people in mosques and synagogues, so I won't do that. Chris Cantwell is nothing more than your keyboard warrior. Notice that all of the threats that he's making are online. He does not have the balls to actually go and do something to someone's face because he's the type of person, he has a punchable face. Excuse me. He has a very punchable face. So that's why he's making all his threats online. And he has no shame in letting people know that it's actually him. But he wants to get online and show his face, but wants to cry on the other end of the video. That's why no one takes him seriously. Last year, attorneys who filed a federal civil rights lawsuit in connection with the Charlottesville rally asked the judge to order Cantwell to stop making unlawful threats against the plaintiffs and their lead attorney. Wow, that's all they did was ask him to stop doing it. Did you really think asking him to stop was going to actually make him stop? Clearly not. In a motion filed in U.S. District Court in Charlottesville, lawyers for 10 people who were hurt during the 2 days of violence in August 2017 said Cantwell had recently focused his hateful rhetoric on attorney Roberta Kaplan. They allege that Cantwell, responding to an article about Kaplan in a Jewish publication, used an anti-Semitic slur on social media website when referring to Kaplan, and wrote that after she loses this fraudulent lawsuit, we're going to have a lot of expletive fun with her. Expletive because they don't know what was said, but I can just about guess what was said. Cantwell, responding to an email seeking comment on the motion to order him to stop making threats, used an anti-Semitic slur when referring to Kaplan and called the lawsuit a expletive fraud. I'm willing to bet that expletive word began with an F. Amy Spittelnick, executive director of Integrity First for America, a nonprofit organization funding the lawsuit stemming from the Charlottesville rally, welcomed the indictment. Today's indictment describes only a tiny fraction of Cantwell's horrifying track record of violence and bigotry. She said in a statement, Cantwell must face the consequences for his many other violent actions. Like I said, Christopher Cantwell is nothing more than a keyboard warrior. All of his threats are online, and that's where they remain. Notice that every time he got arrested or gets arrested for something, it's online. The last time he made an appearance was at that little Charlottesville whatever that they had back in 2017, which is ironically how he kind of, I guess you could say, rose to prominence, if you want to call it that. But the reason why he keeps getting away with it is because they keep giving him a slap on the wrist and they don't take his threats seriously. Now, this guy is pathetic as they come, but don't be surprised or shocked if one day he decides to get the courage to come from behind that computer screen and that keyboard and actually act on some of the things that he's made threats to as far as people go online. Like the man said that he was going to go and rape some other man's wife because he did not like this guy. Who says that? And he said that on a public forum. Like they wouldn't be able to trace that back to him, or someone wasn't going to take that to the authorities. But then again, these palm-colored terrorists, since the ushering in of 45, have become so emboldened that even against their own, they don't care who they talk about. But it is what it is. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure to follow me on Twitter if you have not done so already. Had the notifications turned on, and I will talk to you in the next one.